Although the small council is supposed to wield some influence on the ruler of Westeros, Game of Thrones often showed that they were powerless. If there is one thing that Game of Thrones has repeatedly proven, it is that the Seven Kingdoms is full of individuals who are constantly jockeying for political significance. While the king and queen of Westeros occupy the most important seat of power in the realm, their small council, composed of the kingdom's highest lords/knights, also wields massive influence. However, Game of Thrones repeatedly demonstrates that despite their lofty titles, the members of the small council are often unable to execute their plans. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and also click on the notification bell to remain updated. There are a few clear examples of the group's motives being completely disregarded in favor of other individuals. Number 1. Cersei Lannister dismisses Ser Barristan Selmy as Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. Ser Barristan Selmy serves as the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard during the first season of Game of Thrones, having earned the position by serving as the loyal sword of the king since he was 23 years old. Although he chose not to partake in the Seven Kingdoms' political matters, his position on the small council is usually highly respected by citizens. Despite his stellar reputation, Selmy is stripped of his position, traditionally a lifetime appointment, by King Joffrey Baratheon. The esteemed member of the Kingsguard was forced to do so against his wishes, proving that his role was more ceremonial than politically significant. Number 2. Ned Stark fails to ascend as protector of the realm. Game of Thrones begins with Robert Baratheon's visit to Winterfell. There, he appoints his childhood friend, Ned Stark, as Hand of the King. The Lord of Winterfell serves admirably as Hand. Just before Robert Baratheon dies, he decrees that Ned will serve as protector of the realm until his son, Joffrey, is old enough to take the Iron Throne. Unfortunately for the head of House Stark, Cersei Lannister completely disregards Robert's final wishes, stripping Ned of rank and locking him away in the Red Keep. This decision provides the launch for Game of Thrones' primary conflict, and perhaps even more importantly, it establishes the gap of power that exists between the king and their vassals. Number 3. Cersei Lannister threatens the life of Peter Baelish. Peter Baelish being confronted by Cersei Lannister in the Red Keep during Game of Thrones. Using his wit and ability to operate in chaos, Peter Baelish has climbed the ranks of Seven Kingdoms, going from the Lord of the lowly House Baelish to the small council's Master of Coin. As with many of the positions on the small council, Baelish's station doesn't necessarily guarantee his success or safety. At the end of Game of Thrones' first season, Peter Baelish demonstrates his loyalty to House Lannister by helping them betray Ned Stark. However, shortly after this moment, Baelish references knowledge of Joffrey Lannister's true parentage to Cersei, infuriating the king's mother in the process. She has her guards hold a knife to Baelish's throat, reminding him that he'll never be a member of Westeros nobility, regardless of how high he climbs the social ladder. Number 4. Tyrion imprisons Grand Maester Pycelle. Of all the positions on the small council, the Grand Maester is possibly the most unusual. They cannot be appointed or stripped of their title by the king or the other members of the small council, making them a common point of contention in King's Landing. Pycelle serves as Grand Maester for much of Game of Thrones, and at one point, he is imprisoned by Tyrion Lannister for serving as a spy for Cersei Lannister. Given his inability to prevent this imprisonment, the position of Grand Maester clearly doesn't have the political bones to assert much control in King's Landing. Number 5. Qyburn replaces Varys as Master of Whisperers. For the first half of Game of Thrones, Varys serves dutifully as the Master of Whisperers. However, in the 5th season, Qyburn replaces him after being appointed to the position by Cersei Lannister. Qyburn has a deplorable reputation as a disgraced maester who was dismissed from the Citadel for experimenting on live subjects. As such, his appointment to the small council was met with significant resistance. Grand Maester Pycelle and Kevan Lannister, Hand of the King, both voice their displeasure, but despite their response, Cersei Lannister overrules their authority and appoints Qyburn anyway. Number 6. The Iron Bank ignores Mace Tyrell. Game of Thrones briefly alludes to the financial issues of the Seven Kingdoms, but in all reality, the realm's debt to the Iron Bank is one of the Crown's biggest problems. Each Master of Coin makes mention of this debt, most of which are completely ignored, and at the end of Season 5, Mace Tyrell travels to Braavos to negotiate with the financial institution. Upon arriving, the Iron Bank's representative essentially ignores the Master of Coin. Mace Tyrell is usually depicted as a bumbling character, but regardless of his disposition, he still wields one of the most important titles in Westeros. For him to be taken so lightly shows that even Essos is aware of the ever-growing power of Westeros kings and queens. Number 7. Destruction of the Great Sept of Baelor. Cersei Lannister's journey throughout Game of Thrones is full of ups and downs, but arguably no series of events pushes her further than those that transpired during the show's 6th season. Her son, Tommen Baratheon, rules as king. Despite his love for his mother, his political interests start to align against Cersei's. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and drop comments. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.